just want her back. That's all I want. I've been so long without her, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, why didn't you report it missing earlier? Because my mom threatened me, and I just want her back. That's all I can think about so much. I just want her back. But I would never hurt Evelyn or do anything like that. Yeah, that's when she was like, oh, you're going to regret this, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And my dad was like, well, why would you say something like that?
So, like, she threatened him, essentially?
Yeah.
Was it over phone or text
It was
message?
over the phone.
Once this case is tried, we'll prove her innocence. I have no doubt that that girl is innocent.
Guys, this story has been a long time in the works, so I think it's important to go back and refresh ourselves on all the players involved in the case. On the screen, you see Megan Boswell. She was 18 years old at the time of the incident. She is a single mom of baby Evelyn, or was. No previous record that I could find. Also, no permanent address. I mean, she just kind of drifted from friend to family member, and that had to be incredibly difficult with a baby. She grew up in a dysfunctional household, and she did not report baby Evelyn missing. She did, however, obstruct the investigation with multiple false statements, and now she claims that it was just an accident. After Megan was arrested, she then told law enforcement that it was an accident, what occurred with baby Evelyn. But prior to that, when the initial missing report went out, she told law enforcement that baby Evelyn was spending the holidays with her dad, Ethan Perry. They did investigate that and found out she was lying. So next she told law enforcement that her mom took baby Evelyn. Behind the scenes, she was managing her family with the same type of lies. She told her mom, Children's Services took the baby. She told her dad, her mom took the baby. And this web of lies just continued to grow. So it's very difficult to think that there's going to be anything revealed in this trial that anyone can trust because the information's coming from little Miss Megan.
So let's get into the last time you saw her. Tell me what that time was like and when that was.
Well, actually, I want to talk about that. I've told TBI where to find her in Mendota. My mom took her to a campground and a silver camper, and if they don't go tonight, I'm going to go find her myself. Because I've told them, and they're not really, like, taking it seriously, and if they don't go tonight, like, I will go myself and go get her.
Tell me about the last time, though, that you saw Evelyn. Tell me what you guys did and when that was.
We went to go out to eat, and then my mom came and got her. She was wearing a little hot pink tracksuit with the matching bow, little matching shoes. My mom, like, you can ask her, is a very vindictive, manipulating person, and yes. She basically, like, threatened me the whole time that she was gone.
Do you know who has Evelyn right now?
She dropped her off somewhere in Mendota at a silver camper. But my mom would always say the person, not like people, plural.
So there is a person that has her in Mendota.
This is Megan's parents, Angela Boswell on the left, and Megan's father, Tommy Boswell Sr. on the right. They are divorced. Megan's father was the first to question baby Evelyn's disappearance. He had last seen baby Evelyn on Thanksgiving. When he talked to Megan about his concerns, she told him that baby Evelyn was with her mother, Angela. He contacted Angela, and Angela said, whoa, that's not true. Megan had told her mom that Children's Services had taken the baby. Naturally, he was absolutely confused and concerned, and he reported baby Evelyn missing to Children's Services. Children's Services then reached out to the Sheriff's Department, and they issued the Amber Alert for baby Evelyn. He also phoned in the request that his shed be searched where baby Evelyn's remains was in fact found.
On February 18th of that year, the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office says they received a referral from the Tennessee Department of Children's Services about a child that hadn't been seen by some family members in about 2 months. That child was Evelyn Boswell. The next day, just before 8 in the evening, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation issued an Amber Alert for 15-month-old Evelyn.
We've had a child that's not been seen by the parents or certain family members in almost 2 months and was just reported this week. Evelyn was last seen in December As you all know, these cases are already time sensitive, and we urge anyone with any information to come forward.
My mom's never really been the best mother, you know, and anybody you talk to, like I said, that knows me can tell you that. So,
Why did you leave her with her then?
because she's my mom, I wanted to trust her.
I understand that. And I know that I think it was your dad who reported her missing.
Yeah.
Was it?
It was.
So I had another question. So do you know, so when was the last time you saw her?
I don't know the day to be exact, to be honest with you.
Okay. Was it in December?
It was.
Was it?
Towards the middle end.
Okay. Was it around Christmas? Like, do you remember buying her Christmas presents or that?
Before Christmas.
Okay. Did you buy her Christmas presents and everything? What did you get for her?
A bunch of stuff.
Are you going to give it to her when you see her next?
I am.
Do you have it all saved?
I can't wait.
Do you remember what you got her?
It was a bunch of stuff. Like clothes, toys, baby shark stuff.
You said that's her favorite song, right?
It is.
Yeah. So
That's the only thing that she's ever really sat down and watched is Baby Shark. So,
she like a very active baby.
yeah, she actually tries to sing with it. She'll sing doo-doo-doo and like clap her hands. It's really cute.
So I know you've been in contact with her dad. How is he doing with all of this?
About the same as I am, you know, as good as you can be. He's trying to get Lee to come up here to help find her.
Did you tell him right away when she went missing, or
No.
why not?
I didn't want to think like my mom's take off, and she already did, so now we're in the situation that we are.
Right. Do you know William McLeod?
That's her boyfriend.
Did you like know him well? Like, can you tell me anything about him?
Not really, other than he's kind of sketchy.
Did you know that he was with your baby at the time? You did. But you said he was a little sketchy. Can you tell me why?
Well, I also think every man that I meet is sketchy until, you know, I mean, it just is what it is. That's how my dad raised me.
So this is Megan's mom again, Angela Boswell, and her boyfriend, William McLeod. Now, when the bolo went out identifying the car that she was last seen in, they were arrested for stolen property.
That the car that they were in belonged to, I think, your ex's mom? Do you know
It
anything
was
about that?
Hunter's car. It's just in his brother's name.
Okay. So it was in his brother's name? Do you know who reported it stolen?
I think his mom did.
Okay. And were you involved in giving them the keys or anything along those
I'm not
lines?
getting into all that because it was
Okay.
Hunter's car.
All right. So it wasn't, you weren't involved,
No.
it was Hunter's car and everything? Okay.
This is Megan's boyfriend, Hunter Wood. He is the owner of Chicken Shack and also Megan's boss at the time. He was the owner of the car that was reported stolen that was on that bolo report. And he claims he never met baby Evelyn, ever, that he only saw a few pictures of her. He also claims that he casually dated Megan for a few weeks, but that was in December, and it wasn't a real relationship. However, Megan's friend did an online interview stating that Megan was living with Hunter Wood. She also claims that Hunter kicked Megan out when the Amber Alert was issued because he didn't want to be involved with this. And this is all alleged. I could not verify it. There was just that one interview. But still, it's an account from one of Megan's friends. And the next photo does raise some questions because it is time-stamped in February. And that kind of doesn't add up with his story that they only dated for a few weeks in December. I don't know, guys. That doesn't look like someone that is broken up in this picture to me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Why you let your mom take care of her? Did she take her from you that night? And
Well, she was just supposed to babysit her
you had to go to work.
because I was going to work.
And then when did you know that something was wrong?
Well, whenever, like, she picked me up Wednesday, and I told her, like, hey, they're doing a press release about the Amber Alert thing, and then she freaked out, and that's why they couldn't find her. Like, nobody talked to her for days until they arrested her. She just kind of, poof, gone. But she kept trying to take me to Mendota, and I kept asking. I was like, are you taking me to Evelyn? And she would never tell me yes or no. And I was like, well, if you're not, I'm just calling my police station, come and get me. Like, I'm not playing these games with you.
And so tell me, the day that you dropped her off with your mom to let her babysit, was there anything off about your mom that day? Did you have any suspicion that she was going to take your child?
No. Well, I called her, and she was just like, oh, she's safe, like, you know, that kind of thing. And then she started threatening me, which, like I said, I'm not going to get into, like, everything she threatened me with, you know, because I'm just not, but...
Obviously, now that you believe you know who has her, what do you have to say to them?
To just bring her back.
Look in the camera.
I just want her back. That's all I want. I've been so long without her, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, why didn't you report it missing earlier? Because my mom threatened me, and I just want her back. That's all I can think about so much. I just want her back.
Did you volunteer to come take a polygraph?
Yeah, but they can't do their policy. They can't give me one.
All right. And how are you doing today?
I mean, not good.
Not good. Do you feel like any headway is being made with the search for Evelyn?
I know they're trying their best.
Mm-hmm. How are you doing with, I know last time you told me all about how you're missing her and everything, and
It just gets worse every day.
it does. Do you look at pictures of her on your phone? Do you have pictures of her with you?
Not on me.
Not on you? Okay. How's you doing with your support system? I met Steven, and he was telling me that he's been trying to help you and everything.
He is. They're being really great. Better than my own family's made me at this point.
Really? Are you feeling a rift with your own family and everything? So I went to the hearing yesterday, and William McLeod said that you gave them that car, but can you tell me your side of that?
I'm not getting in on that.
No? Alright. Can you talk all about what's going on with your mom? I know that must be very hard. How are you doing with everything?
Not good, but I have support now, so it's getting better.
You do? That's good. Yeah. And so I know there's a lot of like rumors and stuff going around about all kinds of things. Is there anything else that you'd like to address?
No.
No?
Unless you have anything specific you want me to address.
Well, I know that there's been rumors about like you being pregnant right now, and
I'm not getting into that.
I know, I hate to ask you that, but like I just want to give you the opportunity to like address anything that you feel that the public should or shouldn't know, or I know everybody's in your business.
I am pregnant, that's why they won't give me a polygraph. Due to policy, if you're pregnant, they cannot give you one.
Okay. How do you think you're being portrayed through all of this?
Well, I mean, it depends on if you talk to somebody who actually knows me, if you're talking to somebody on the internet who lives 500 miles away and is just trying to speculate in on it. So if you talk to anybody who actually knows me, you know, they know that I would never hurt Evelyn or do anything like that.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that, like, would you ever put her in harm's way?
No.
No. Do you think your mother would?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? So you do think that Evelyn is alive and well?
I do.
You do?
It's just finding her.
Okay. Do you think that they will find her?
I do.
You do? Can you comment on, I know we've talked a little bit about this before, about the Amber Alert and like I know there's this whole thing with Evelyn's Law. Do you think you did something wrong when you didn't report her sooner?
Maybe, but also I trust that she was with my mom. So.
Right. And, so I know.
Yeah, that's when she was like, oh, you're gonna regret this, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And my dad was like, well, why would you say something like that?
So, like, she threatened him, essentially?
Yeah.
Was it over phone or text
It was
message?
over the phone.
Okay. Can you tell me why she was with your mom?
Just, she was supposed to babysit her.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't turn out that way.
And what do you think happened? Like, what went wrong? She just wasn't there, or what happened?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
And why'd you come to take a polygraph?
To clear my name, but they won't give me one due to policy. I'm not going to get into all that, but...
I know you're missing your child, and you're pregnant.
It's just a lot to deal with at one in time.
Mm-hmm. Are you still getting support from your grandmother? I know you mentioned it before.
My grandmother's amazing.
She is. That's good. Have you been in contact with the father of either child?
With Evelyn's dad, yes. He's trying to get leave to come up here to help look for her.
Okay, so you have been in contact with him.
Mm-hmm.
Has he been supportive?
He has been.
That's really good. With your other baby's dad, or have you been in contact with him?
Mm-hmm.
Or
I'm not going to get into that.
That's okay. Previously, you said you didn't want to name names, but why did you change your mind? Just because everything that's going on?
Well, they were like, oh, you can't talk about the case, but like, it's my child. I just really don't care at this point. It's my baby.
Okay. And if you could say anything to whoever has Evelyn, what would you say to them?
Just to bring her back. There's $56,000 in reward money, you know. Nobody gives a shit about getting them in trouble. We all just want the baby back. Like, I promise you, TBI does not care. You know, nobody cares. It's just getting the baby back.
Yeah.
It's not about getting whoever in trouble. It's just about getting Evelyn back.
Mm-hmm. And how are you feeling? I know last time you were very confident about getting her back. How are you feeling?
I'm still confident they'll get her back.
You are?
I am.
And so have you been coming a lot and trying to help with the investigation?
As much as they'll let me be here.
And how have you been helping? Just providing information?
Yeah.
That kind of thing?
That kind of thing.
So I know that yesterday the sheriff was kind of like, oh, people need to stop organizing their own search parties. Can you tell me, did you think that was good or bad?
They just don't want them tampering with evidence, and I get that, but really I don't see the problem with one as long as nobody's tampering with evidence or going trespassing, you know what I mean? I think that was just his main concern.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, you know, if you find anything, don't touch it. You know, if you find her alive and well, obviously, go grab her, go get her, but if you find clothes that you're oh, well, this sounds like what she was wearing last, just don't touch it, you know. Yeah. Call law enforcement immediately.
Right. I know this all must be very hard for you. How do you think the public's being supportive? Because I know people are trying to offer up reward money, but then there's also rumors. How are you feeling about all of that?
Well, I don't care as long as they're trying to help my daughter. I don't really, care what people say online. I appreciate them helping to contribute to the reward money. Maybe somebody will come forward, but the important thing is that it's just out there. People know who she is, what she looks like, and they're looking.
Mm-hmm. And last time you told me that you wouldn't miss her if you saw her because she was the cutest baby.
She is.
She is.
Nobody can convince me otherwise.
Mm-hmm. And tell me what she looks like.
She's very sweet. She's about 2 feet tall. I might be a couple inches off. Around 28 pounds. She has dirty blonde hair, blue eyes. She looks exactly like her dad. But she has my eyes, so that's all that matters. But she looks exactly like him, and she's just very, very sweet. Mm-hmm. She has dimples.
Mm-hmm. Do you wish that they could give you a polygraph?
Yeah, but they can't.
They can't.
Due to policy.
On the 25th, Megan Boswell was arrested after police say that she gave false reports during the course of the investigation and search for her daughter. More than a week passes as the search continues. That includes a sweep of a North Carolina pond near a property owned by a family member connected to the case, and the search of a property in Sullivan County where investigators looked into recently dug up ground there. Then, on March the 6th, the search for Evelyn Boswell ended when her remains were found on a property on Muddy Creek Road in Sullivan County, owned by Megan Boswell's father, the man who initially called DCS about her disappearance.
I need to hit pause, guys. YouTube will not show my video unless I frequently disrupt the flow of things, but I'll try to be brief. I am going to raise a few points here, but before doing so, I want to emphasize, I do not condone this horrific tragedy. Regardless of the reasons behind this, it's nothing but evil, and I will always be 100% for the victim. Now, that being said, if Megan is guilty, what went so terribly wrong in her young life to result in this? If you observe the photos and the videos closely, baby Evelyn doesn't look to be malnutritioned. It appears that she's being fed. Her clothes are clean. She appears to be bathed. She's always smiling. In my opinion, that's not typical in cases like this. So what on earth could have provoked this young mama if in fact she is guilty? There's so many of these cases now involving these poor, helpless little babies. And I think we need to start figuring out why they are occurring much more frequently. Now, I also have to tell you that the upcoming clips are really difficult. They're emotionally disturbing, and they are hard to listen to and watch. So if you need to fast forward past the report, I completely understand.
I'm Jeff Cassidy, Sheriff of Sullivan County. I first want to thank the community for their outpouring of love, support, and prayers for the last 17 days. when sweet Evelyn was first reported missing. I want to thank the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and our detectives and officers for their persistence, dedication, and hard work in trying to locate Evelyn. This evening, we received information that led TBI agents and Sullivan County detectives to a property belonging to a family member of Evelyn's mother in the 500 block of Muddy Creek Road in Blumpville. During the search, investigators discovered human remains believed to be those of a 15-month-old girl. The remains will be sent for an autopsy and a positive identification. At this time, the investigation is in the very early stages. There's a lot of work left to be done, and right now, this is the extent of what we can provide today. Thank you, General Stavas. Baby Evelyn's body was found on March 6th. Since that time, my detectives, TBI agents, and the DA's office have worked tirelessly conducting interviews, combing through evidence, and establishing a timeline in order to determine the circumstances leading to baby Evelyn's death. As a result of false information given by the defendant, along with misinformation circulated in the community, there's been a lot of confusion in the case. I want to be clear when I say that after an extensive and thorough investigation, other individuals were eliminated as suspects, and Megan Boswell became the sole suspect in this case.
A lot of information came out of this 3-hour hearing today that detailed the photos of the night that Evelyn was found. Now, the purpose of today's hearing was to decide which photos could be used in trial. They weren't shown today, but were only described in testimony. That testimony, though, revealed that Evelyn died of asphyxiation or suffocation. The state did bring in a forensic pathologist to explain how these photos reveal her cause of death, along with how decomposed her body was when it was found. It explained that Evelyn was found inside of a playhouse, but that her body was wrapped in aluminum foil, then inside what is described as a thick fleece blanket. She was then put in a trash bag and placed upside down in a garbage can.
What's really important for me was to show the placement of the foil and how tightly actually one can see the outline of the head and upper body with the foil being attached. So it's not crumpled foil with somebody, I don't know, barbecuing or doing something and then putting it next to the child. It's actually wrapped around the upper part of the child.
The photos also show indentions on Evelyn's head and body from the foil and blanket, and show that her body was in a position the pathologist said wouldn't allow her to breathe. The court did have to take a recess before getting deep into that testimony today because Megan Boswell hadn't seen the photos before today's hearing. She was visibly crying when she walked back into the courtroom this afternoon.
Current attorney Gene Scott hasn't gotten into the ins and outs of his relationship with his client, but wants people to hold a judgment on the young mother until they see the evidence.
Once this case is tried, we'll prove her innocence. I have no doubt that that girl is innocent.
This jury is made up of 8 men and 6 women. They all have varying backgrounds and different ages. Now, they were sent home just after 5:30, and they were told to pack their bags and not read, watch, or listen to anything about this case, and also not to discuss it with anyone. Prosecutors started explaining the charges and what they would have to prove. He warned them about the photos that they would see, including a photograph of the victim's body partially decomposed. Now, William Harper, the deputy district attorney prosecuting this case, wanted to hit home that this will not be like what people see on TV, saying this is not Hollywood. We're in a courtroom in Tennessee. Gene Scott, Megan Boswell's attorney, started out by explaining that Megan has a right to not take the stand in this trial, and that can't be held against her. He asked if they understood that the indictment is just an allegation and told them this is their chance, Megan's one chance for them to get this right. Now, Scott talked a lot about the standard of convicting, and it has to be beyond reasonable doubt and with moral certainty. He even told them, quote, "You're not going to like some of the things she did, but you have to listen to the evidence and go off that." Now, if she is convicted on the murder charges, this jury will be tasked with deciding this punishment. That trial will begin right after this one if she is found guilty. Now, court is in recess until 8:30 in the morning. Proof begins at 9 a.m., officially marking the start of the Megan Boswell trial.
I do believe that this could be the saddest case I've ever researched. I had to take many, many breaks to try to regain my composure. I pray this sweet little angel receives complete justice. And I am going to try to follow the trial, but it is emotionally draining for me. I'll get to it as I can, maybe in bits and pieces. Guys, if you check out my questions below, I am eager to hear your thoughts about them. You can comment and hopefully we'll get a discussion going about that. Also, let me know if you'd like me to post updates as the trial continues. If you don't mind, take a second, like this video, and subscribe if you want to be notified when I do post those updates. Guys, let's again pray for justice for this sweet little angel, baby Evelyn, and I hope to see you in the next video.